With round after round of sub-freezing temperatures, more people are turning up the heat in their homes, and that drives energy use up. Talquin Electric, though, confident in their grid handling this energy demand, but they are staying prepped just in case.
Talquin is preparing and making sure that everything is fueled up in case we do need to enact any of our measures for conservation. We're just preparing and being ready. And then we also are preparing our crews just in case there are incidents where we need to restore power.
All right, for City of Tallahassee customers, Tallahassee Utilities is launching its Weather Relief Assistance Program now. Eligible customers can pick a peak winter utility bill and then spread the balance over the next 4 utility bills. This applies to all bills from January 1st through February 28th this year, and you can only do this one time per account.